I do not see her.
When they have mass enforcement, and I think you're professional, you know how to do this, so loud, so we can. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Good job.
That was very well done. I'm going to turn my microphone on so everyone can hear now.
Thank you.
Our next order of business is citizen comments. This is an opportunity for citizens to address the council on agenda items or other matters they wish to bring to the council's attention, excluding those scheduled for a public hearing. We do have one of those tonight. As there may not be another opportunity to comment once an agenda item is addressed, individuals are encouraged to speak at this time. Individuals are encouraged to discuss operational issues in advance with the mayor in consideration of others wishing to speak. Commentary is limited to 3 minutes. So if you have citizen comments here tonight, I would invite you up to the microphone in the middle of the room. If not, we're going to move on. Okay. Yes, sir, please. Just your name and city of residence. Welcome.
John Morgenstern. I'm from Lewiston. I support allowing prayer before Lewiston City Council meetings. I do acknowledge that Article 124 of the Constitution decreed that church and state are separate. However, I ask the council to acknowledge that Article 124 was in the Soviet Union's constitution, not ours. Mother Russia, rest in peace. Please consider that many legislative bodies begin their daily sessions with prayer, including the United States Senate, the Idaho State Legislature, and even the California State Legislature. On the other hand, legislative sessions that do not begin with prayer include the Seattle City Council, the Portland City Council, and the Chinese Communist Party Politburo, with Xi Jinping presiding. I also want to point out that the Idaho state seal appears on the state flag with the Latin phrase, the Latin words, Esto Perpetua. These were the last words uttered by Roman Catholic theologian Pietro Sarpi on his deathbed. They mean, let it be eternal. Emma Edwards Green, who designed the state seal, intended the phrase Esto Perpetua as, quote, a prayer that the bounty and blessing of this land may forever benefit its people, end quote. For the United States of America, for the great state of Idaho, and for the city of Lewiston, I pray, Esto Perpetua. I yield the remainder of my time.
Thank you. Welcome. You might be able to turn that down just a little bit. Yeah, there you go. And your name and city of residence, please.
I'm Connie Overall. I live in Lewiston. My husband and I have lived in this fair city for over 50 years, and we love this city. I would like to also say that I am in support of offering prayer before any meetings that you have. We could even use either one of you or different pastors of the various churches. I think it would increase the interest in the community. I think we need the Lord's guidance both locally, state, and nationally. It seems like there's a lot of turmoil going on in our entire United States right now, and I think we could use God's support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Connie.
Thank you.
Okay, are there further citizen comments? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to our next agenda item presentations. Clerk Rocky, have you heard or do you see Counselor Klein joined us yet?
I do not. I asked Information Systems Jenny if she had joined, and she said she did for a minute, and then she dropped off. So she's currently not on the Zoom.
City Attorney Tangana, do you have any questions or concerns about our connections tonight? Counselor Klein said she cannot hear.
She asked if there was a problem with the audio because she can't hear anything. Mayor, we would want to make sure that Counselor Klein can communicate with us directly in live time. If she can't hear us, the question is also whether or not she can talk to us. And if she cannot hear us or talk to us, then I would respectfully ask that she be disconnected and not participate in tonight's meeting.
Thank you, Jennifer. Okay, I need to go at ease for just a second and make sure that our IT folks are on board with that. So we're disconnect. Thank you. Council, our next order of business is Roman number 4, presentations. Item A, introduction of ordinance 4956. Introduction of proposed ordinance number 4956 relating to the amendment of the city's franchise agreement with Sanitary Disposal Incorporated, doing business as sanitary disposal and recycling in accordance with Idaho Code 50-329, prior to publication and public hearing on the same. We have our Public Works Director with us here tonight. Director Johnson, please welcome.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, Dustin Johnson, Public Works Director. In front of you is essentially just an introduction of this ordinance. This is ordinance 4956, which will require a public hearing and 3 separate readings. This is not that tonight. This is simply introducing this because it does need to be published for 30 days for the public record in order to amend the franchise contract with the city that the city has with Sunshine Disposal. So you will be not taking any action tonight. I'm simply stating that it is now out for the public record or for the public to review and see in preparation for the public hearing. If you recall, it would go back to June 2nd, last summer, 2025. Sunshine Disposal made a presentation to the council requesting a one-time increase in their charges of 18.5%. The council at the time gave the city staff notice to proceed to negotiate that out. There were a few other changes within that agreement, which are all contained within this proposed amendment. I'm not going to go into any detail because that will be part of the public hearing. But we will have the public hearing on January 26th. That will be the first reading, and the second reading will be February 9th, and the third reading will be February 23rd. Beyond that, the details are kind of outlined in there as far as the timing, and Sunshine Disposal will obviously be here for that public hearing. I'm here for questions if you have preparation as we move forward for that.
Thank you, Director. Councilor Spickmeyer.
Thank you, Mayor. So, Director, in looking through that, when we had our presentation from Sunshine Disposal, they talked about a plastic and paper conversion. But I didn't see that in any of the paperwork?
No, there was some clarifying language in there that we made amendments to, but the plastic and paper recycling, are you talking about the single stream pickup? The procedurally, nothing really changed in there. The amendment is to the rate structure that they currently operate, and then future rate adjustments, the way they were adjusted by CPI and fuel indexes. But it doesn't really change the bulk of the franchise agreement.
Follow up?
Spickmeyer.
So, also, Director, I noticed in here that $500,000 to cover the 18.5% increase. In September, we also increased the rates of close to 10%. Does that affect this, or that's the 500 plus that?
We adjusted 5% for this fiscal year. There is a reserve, a capital reserve for specific instances like this. And so I don't want the public to see this and say our rates are going to go up 18.5%, because there's still city overheads, city costs, and then the tipping fee, there are other costs. This is not the sole cost of what goes into collection, but generally what we're looking at it, forecasting out, it's about $500,000 increased costs per year that will come out of our capital reserves. And so when we if the council chooses to adopt this, that would be the impact to the budget. I will go into detail as far as what's in capital reserves, but we have the money to cover this overage. But we know this request, fuel is not going down, labor's not going down. And with all that, we know the city's contract with Stoughton County Landfill expires at the end of this calendar year. And they have their draft tipping fee, and we're going from $48 a ton to roughly 60 something a ton. So we know costs are going to go up in the foreseeable future. And so this is just another one of those things that's impacting our ability to provide the same service at the same cost. So yes, rates will more than likely go up as we carve through capital reserves, and we still have capital projects like the transfer station floor and the road into the transfer station. So yes, there will be a lot of expenses kind of compiled into next year's rates.
Thank you.
But I'm sorry, that's why we keep these capital reserves, so we don't have these major fluctuations in these utilities.
Understood.
Further council comments? Councilor Wright.
You roughly know the ratio of the 18% cost that's increasing versus our overall costs?
Not off the top of my head, but I can prepare that for the public hearing in a couple of weeks and get that.
Thanks.
Okay, council, if there's no further questions, thank you, Director, for presenting to us tonight. Council, next up, we have Roman number 5, consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are considered routine by the council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these issues unless the council so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered on the active agenda under items moved from the consent agenda. Councilor Schroeder.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Been moved by Councilor Schroeder, second by Councilor Forsman to approve the consent agenda. Clerk Rocky.
Council President Kleberg,
Aye.
Councilor Wright,
Aye.
Councilor Forsman,
Aye.
Councilor Schroeder,
Aye.
Councilor Spickmeyer,
Aye.
Councilor Klein.
Aye.
Thank you, council. Next, we move to Roman numeral 7, outgoing councilor comments and adjournment of the 2022-2026 Lewiston City Council. Sine die. So, council, with that, I will open it up for any comments you may have. Some of you are going to leave and come back immediately. One of you will not. But if there are any comments, please, councilors, otherwise we'll get down to business. Councilor Schroeder.
Since I'm the one that's going to leave, I want to say goodbye to everyone. It has been an amazing journey. It is nothing I ever planned to do. No, I wasn't a little girl saying I want to be a council person. I didn't even know what city council was. So this is it's been 13 official years and about 8 other years on another project that isn't official. But I got great out of that one as well, even though it isn't official. But it is so amazing to see how the city works in real time. Not sitting out there, but sitting here and watching how it works. It is an amazing thing. You cannot have a personal agenda to come in here. You cannot have political agenda to be here. This is not the place for any of that. But if you come and you have a desire to be here, I highly encourage you. Words can't really describe all of the things that you go through and learn, and the staff that is here in the city is an amazing staff. It's been a pleasure working with all of them, and I will miss them. But I'll shut up now before you throw me off the stage.
We won't do that, Councilor. Councilor Forsman.
I just want to thank Councilor Schroeder for her service. This can at times seem like a thankless job, but when you get to see the fruits of your labor and the city you care about thrive, from the hard decisions that you make, it makes it all worth it. And although we don't always agree at this table, any one of us, we all have the same goal to make Lewiston better. And so I want to thank her for her time and her Mondays given up. And I hope she enjoys her extra Mondays now and fills it with other exciting things, which talking to her, it sounds like she already has that plan. And enjoy your time. Thank you, Schroeder, again for your service.
Thank you for the flowers.
You're welcome.
Council President Kleberg.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Nice words.
They were.
I'd like to reiterate that. I appreciate Kathy's enthusiasm for the job, or volunteerism on different boards, and her time on the council. She's been a good counselor, and again, yeah, we haven't always agreed, but
No, and we shouldn't.
but we're still friends, you know.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
we can walk out the door and shake hands, and she's been a benefit to the community.
Thank you.
Councilor Forsman.
Obviously, I'm one of the ones that's going to stand up for a second and then sit right back down. So I thank those who supported me in a second term. I have a lot of goals and ambitions to accomplish in this round, and I'm really excited to get started. I think the citizens trust in me, and those that didn't, I hope I can earn your trust and make the city continue to thrive and grow and flourish. And I'm very thankful that I get to have a chance to sit up here again and work with these wonderful people that all have the same goal in making Lewiston continue to thrive and be a future for our kids to be able to raise their kids and have long-lasting here for future growth. So I'm excited for that, and I appreciate it.
Good counselor already.
I have one.
Councilor Schroeder,
And
yes.
this is not my exit speech, but I keep forgetting to say it. I think it was last summer, last fall, we did, as a council, we had a grant for playground equipment at Pioneer Park, correct? Okay, it is amazing how many, and I walk the dog every day by there. everybody, the children and the adults are all there playing. And it's such a benefit to our community when we do things like this. It brings the families together and they're out there in the cold playing. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know that these grants that we get, and yes, maybe we have to put some money to it, but it is worthwhile when you see things like that in our community that is helping give children activities that are good and family time. Thank you for that. Okay, now do I leave now?
Well, you and I are going to step down in front of the,
We are?
and I'm going to present a plaque to you from
Oh
the
my
council.
gosh, no.
Yeah.
I didn't know that came with it. I would have stayed on for another year.
I get where people can. Kathy Schroeder, City Council, January 2018 to January 2026. In appreciation of your leadership and service to our community, we thank you, Daniel Johnson, Mayor Jim Cleveland, Council President, and your four city councilors, Betsy Portman, Johnson Meyer, Jessica Klein, and I too want to say that I really enjoyed working with you. I know you're not going to miss but
But that was good
she
too.
still lets me come over to her house, which is not very often, but
He snuck over. I wasn't even.
no one didn't stop me, so that was really bad.
Yeah.
Well, I know that you're not going away.
I don't have a hot date or anything. I'll just go. Good thing I brought mine.
Help with some of this, I can help you carry that.
Well, I think if I get this in here, we'll be good. And do you need this at all?
We might leave it there for
Okay.
Councilor Moore.
Okay. That's true. Okay. Thank you. I should be able to get that. And I left Hershey chunks for everybody so they keep sweet thoughts for me.
Here you go. Bucky, you want to help?
You. Kathy.
Thank you.
Yeah, she could stay for the rest of the meeting.
It's like, I'm out. Got my Mondays free.
Councilors, we did sine die. We're now going to jump into Roman numeral 8, administration of the oath of office. Re-elected Mayor Daniel Johnson. After that, we will do the other officers. So where would you like to meet, Clerk Brocky?
Like to step down here.
Right there?
Right there.
All right.
All right, raise your right hand. Solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Idaho, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of mayor of the city of Lewiston according to the best of your ability.
I affirm.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Clerk Brocky. Councilors, next up, we have the administration of the oath of office to elected city councilors. And so, Clerk Brocky, I'm going to turn this over to you, and then you can run it how you'd like. If you would like them to come down one at a time, or as a group?
If you would all like to come down as a group, we can do that, or if you prefer another time. We're going to be using Bibles. You'll put your left hand on the Bible. You'll raise your right hand.
Left hand, right hand.
Right hand.
There you go. There you go. All right. So we'll just repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Matthew Wright,
Do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of counselor
charge the duties of counselor
of the City of Lewiston according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Councilors, we also, passed Roman numeral 10, presentation of certificates of election to the mayor and the city councilors. That's what we were just given, so we each have our certificates of election. Our next order of business is the election of a city council president. This is an action item. And because I would like the audience to understand how this process is working, I'm going to read it to you, and then you'll be able to follow along as we go through this. Councilor Klein, can you still hear us okay?
Yep.
Thank you. Process says this: the council president shall be elected by 1/2 plus one of the members of the full council, that is 4 votes. The city clerk calls for nominations by the council. A nomination shall not require a second. A nominee shall have the right to decline the nomination. The city clerk calls for a roll call vote, taking the vote of each councilor. Each councilor may only cast a vote for one nominee. If a nominee receives the required number of votes, then such nominee shall be elected as council president. If no nominee receives the required number of votes, then the second vote between 2 nominees with the most votes shall be taken by roll call vote. And the nominee who receives the required number of votes shall be elected as council president. If following the first vote, more than 2 nominees receive the same number of votes, then a second vote between such nominees shall be taken by roll call until one nominee receives the required number of votes. Such nominee shall be elected as council president. So Clerk Rocky, I will turn this over to you.
I call for nominations for a city council president. Council President Kleberg.
I'll nominate myself.
Other nominations?
Interesting, I'll
Councilor
nominate
Forsman?
myself.
Any other nominations?
We all nominate ourselves.
Call for a roll call.
Clerk Rocky, if you would like to close nominations, then we can vote on them.
I will close the nomination and we'll do a roll call. So, Counselor Wright,
Counselor Kleberg,
Counselor Forsman,
Counselor Forsman?
Counselor Kleberg,
Counselor Kleberg,
Counselor Maury,
Counselor Kleberg.
Counselor Spickelmeyer,
Counselor Kleber.
Counselor Klein.
Counselor Kleberg.
Counselor Kleberg has been nominated first, or selected for City Council President.
Thank you, Clerk Rocky. Congratulations, Council President Kleberg. Thank you, Councilor Forsman, for putting your name in the
yes,
ballot.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. No, thank you. Council, next up, we move to Roman numeral 12, public hearings, related action items. Item A, public hearing for ZA-05-25, accepting testimony on zoning amendment ZA-05-25 parking lots, which proposes amendments to Lewiston City Code, Chapter 37, zoning code, sections 37-3, 37-146, 37-147, 37-151, and 37-153 to improve clarity, resolve inconsistencies, redundancies, and conflicts, and eliminate provisions that are unnecessary and overly burdensome. This is an action item. We have our Assistant City Planner, Ms. Katie Hollins, here with us tonight. Katie, please introduce yourself for the record. The floor is yours. Oh, I have a couple of other things to add. Councilors, I announced the subject of the public hearing. It's for ZA-05-25. Here's how the public hearing process will work. Each member of the public is allowed to come up and provide 3 minutes of comments, should they choose to do that. There'll be a staff presentation. You will have an opportunity to ask questions of the staff and/or persons providing testimony. No additional evidence or testimony may be received once the public hearing is closed. So this is, and that will be your time to ask any questions you might have. After that, I will close the public hearing. So with that, I will open the public hearing and turn it over to you, Ms. Hollingshead. Thank you.
Good evening, Council, Mr. Mayor. I'm Katie Hollingshead. I'm the Assistant Planner. Tonight, I am in front of you with a zoning code amendment we've named ZA-0525. This is in regards to parking lots. So in the packet, you were provided with the ordinance, a memo from City Planner Joel Plascon, and some meeting minutes from when this went in front of our Planning and Zoning Commission. The bulk of what is in front of you tonight is the idea that we would like to simplify some things. We've run into some problems with developers not understanding what part applies to them. So we wanted to be able to provide that clarity so there's not confusion for the public or for developers or contractors doing the work. We've removed several sections that were redundant or just not needed, or we felt no longer made sense to our current environment. We've adjusted the definition of parking lots so that it is very specific. So again, so that there's clarity and no question about what we're talking about when it comes to an actual parking lot. If someone is putting in something that is less than that definition of parking lot, then it's not a parking lot. They're just parking stalls, and none of the other requirements kick in. I can go through each segment if the council would like me to, but otherwise I would just stand for specific questions from the council.
Katie, let's see if we have any testimony from the public tonight. One here to provide testimony. Entered, hearing on council. Do you have questions for Ms. Hollingshead? Councilor Wright.
yeah, in the exemptions, so I see the parking areas for 5 or fewer contiguous parking spaces, but I don't see any exemption for the size, which I know it might be unlikely that somebody has 6 spaces or 7 spaces for something under 2,400 square feet, but is that the intention?
They should not, because the 2,400 square feet is based on what a parking stall is required to be size-wise.
Okay.
That's 9 feet wide by 18 and a half feet deep. And then the 26-foot backup aisle that is also required so that they can safely maneuver in and out. So that's where that 2,400 number comes from.
Gotcha. Thank
So
you.
if you're less than that, you shouldn't have more stalls because then you're not meeting those other criteria. So you just wouldn't be a parking lot.
Gotcha. Okay. So that was a problem before with the 5,000, but at 2,400, it's
So the
not.
problem with the 5,000 was that it conflicted with Public Works Code that says if you have 2,000 square feet of new impervious surface, or if you're replacing 2,000 square feet of impervious surface, then the stormwater requirements kick in. And so we wanted to make that be closer together. 2,000 doesn't quite equate to the same thing. We've always used that more than 5 for parking, for it being considered a parking lot. But the 5,000 left too much confusion between people. It's like, is it this? Is it that? So this makes it much more specific. It's this, right here.
Thank you.
Counselor Spickelmeyer?
Thank you, Mayor. So Katie, on here, I think it was 37-146, you added a requirement to have dust control on unpaved parking lots.
That was already a requirement.
Huh?
That was already a requirement.
It was already in there?
Yeah.
Why is it underlined?
Because it was added to that portion, so it was moved from somewhere else.
So I guess my question on that to follow up is, how do you enforce it? Do we, if we already have it in there, do we enforce it?
Yes, Public Works does.
Huh. Okay,
And usually it's enforced by complaints, but it is enforced.
enforced by who?
Complaints. So when people call in and complain, hey, the dust is getting kicked up, then we go out and we provide that reminder that they do need to pay attention to that section of code and apply that dust palliative. Unfortunately, we don't have an inventory of all of the unpaved parking lots within the entire city, and we don't have the manpower to have someone circle around and look and see, did you put your stuff down?
So we have a rule we can't enforce. It isn't enforced because I've seen them and they don't have dust control. That's where I'm going with it.
Have you called code enforcement and asked for them to be visited?
I didn't even know that was my job. I guess we should put it to the public that we have to
So we
complain.
received lots of complaints from the public, and that is where most of the code enforcement calls or tickets come from.
Okay,
Thank you, Counselor. Further council comments? Questions? Last chance. Katie, do you have anything else before I close the public hearing?
I do not.
With that, I will close the public hearing. Thank you. Council, next up, we have item B, Roman numeral 7B, first reading of ordinance 4959, considering amending Lewiston City Code Section 37-3 relating to the definition of parking lot, amending Lewiston City Code Sections 37-146, 37-149, 37-151, and 37-153 relating to parking lots, and repealing and reserving Lewiston City Code Section 37-147. This is an action item. Again, our Assistant City Planner, Katie Hollingshead, is here. If you have any additional questions, other than that, I would entertain a motion. Councilor Wright?
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to propose an amendment changing the references of 5 spaces.
Councilor, we're going to have a motion to approve the first reading before we can amend it.
Oh, apologies.
There's nothing to amend right now.
I'll make a motion
So President
to
Cleaver,
approve the first reading of ordinance 4959.
Second.
been moved by Council President Kleberg, seconded by Councilor Wright, to approve the first reading of ordinance number 4959. Is there discussion or amendments? Councilor Wright?
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to propose an amendment, changing the references of 5 spaces to 8 spaces and the 2,400 square feet to 3,840 square feet.
Motion to amend? Not a second, the motion dies. Counselor, you need to speak up so
Second
everybody
for-
can, what are you seconding?
The motion,
To amend?
to amend the motion, yes.
Okay. Counselor Wright, you can speak to your motion now if you'd like.
Thank you. So the idea behind this is, what I'm trying to do is take as much burden off of small parking lots as possible for just the planting shrubs, the planting trees, the making niceties throughout their parking lot. I don't think an 8 spaces in a parking lot is unreasonable, or it's going to cause large areas that don't look nice around Lewiston. I can see the reasoning with these larger size parking lots, even though I may not fully agree with some of the larger size, but I can see the point that a lot of the other counselors have, where a big plain parking lot does not look that nice. But I think as we get under that 10 spaces, it really starts becoming more of a burden to try and build a small parking lot. And that's why I'm just asking for 8 instead of 5. That's the amendment.
Is there further discussion?
Question?
Counselor Forsman?
Is that not impede on bigger trucks having to back up and safe exits and maneuvering?
It could potentially. I guess the only thing I would maybe point out to the commission is, so last year, we made amendments that reduced parking requirements by half. So whereas an eight spaces with the previous code, so if you had an office that had 2,000 square feet, it would have been 1 space to 250, so that would have been 8 spaces. So we've halved that, so now it would be an office that is 4,000 square feet, which is probably going to have more than 8 people working in it. My only concern is that you're not going to see parking lot improvements, like entrances, like there being the proper backup aisle on fairly large buildings. Yeah, that would be my only concern, is that really pushes you into really big spaces and not necessarily like a small office trying to just get started. That's going to push you into pretty large commercial spaces.
Mayor, I just have a question for clarification on the motion.
Jennifer, please introduce yourself too for the record. Thank you.
Yes, Mayor. Jennifer Tangano, City Attorney. Counselor Wright, so is your motion to change the language related to 5 spaces to 8 spaces and the references to 2,400 square foot to 3,840 square feet, related to all references in the proposed ordinance, or is it specific to any particular reference?
Be all references.
Thank you, Jennifer, for that question. Councilors, if you understand the motion and the discussion and there's no further discussion, then I'm going to ask for those in favor to please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Nay.
Sounds like 4-2, motion carries. So now, Council, we have the original motion before you to approve the first reading of ordinance number 4959 as amended. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
Fails. Motion fails on the 3-3. Okay, Council, next up, we'll move to Roman numeral 8, active agenda. Item A, alcohol beverage license renewals. Considering approval of the following renewal licenses: retail liquor, retail wine by the drink and bottle, retail beer on and off premises. Looks like we have Don Ortiz here with us. I don't have your name anywhere, but I'll introduce you and ask you to please introduce yourself for the record. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Dawn Ortiz, Community Development Office Supervisor. It is time of year for alcohol license to come renewal on January 31st. All alcohol beverage licenses need to be renewed. We do need city council approval in order to renew any that have a liquor license with them. There are 24 licenses. To update some information, we have received all the required paperwork in order for those licenses to be renewed. And I will be here for any questions.
Thank you, Don. Councilors, questions for Don Ortiz, Ms. Ortiz? Councilor Spickelmeyer.
Thank you, Mayor. I was curious, in the agenda summary, down at the bottom, it listed one of them, the licenses with no location or establishment. How long can a license holder retain it without being active?
So as of January 31st, if they do not have a location, it will not be allowed to be renewed by the state. So we require the county to approve the license and then the state to approve the license. Once we have those two approvals, then we look at it. If they do not have a location when the renewal time comes up, the state will not approve it. And that's what you're reading in that last.
So that would follow the same process with the one that just closed, it mentioned?
Correct, yep. So they're closing, so they will not have a location anymore.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Further questions, Council? If not, I would entertain a motion. Councilor Wright.
I move to approve the renewal licenses for retail liquor, retail wine by the drink and bottle, and retail beer on and off premises for the 20 businesses listed below on the agenda.
Second.
Been moved by Councilor Wright, seconded by Councilor Spickelmeyer to approve the renewal licenses for the retail liquor, retail wine by the drink and bottle, and retail beer on and off premises. The 20 businesses listed below on the agenda. This is a voice vote. I'm going to go ahead and just read them since we have a nice attendance by the public, just so they know what we're up to here. Alibi Sports Edition, Applebee's, Bojack's Broilers, Barabas Rocks, Brighton Canyon Public Golf Course, Cantor's Inn, Corner Villa, Eagles Lodge, Elks Lodge, Ernie's Steakhouse, Hills Canyon Grand Hotel, Hops and Vine, Jolly Morse, Lewiston Golf and Country Club, Mandarin Pine, Pals, Shooter, Strike and Spare Bar and Grill, Wrangler, and Zanies. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Community Development Supervisor Ortiz, please.
Excuse me, Mayor,
We have no,
we still have another action to vote on for this particular agenda item.
Yeah,
we do, yes. Thank you, Jennifer. Okay, councilors, we do have 4 other licenses: Boomers, Boomtown, El Sombrero, and the Zoo. There's a recommendation approval on those, subject to submittal of required paperwork. I would entertain a motion for those 4. Council President Kleberg.
make a motion to approve the renewal licenses for retail liquor, retail wine by the drink and bottle, and retail beer on and off premise as applicable for the 4 businesses listed below on the agenda, subject to submittal, which apparently they have
Correct.
submitted.
Second.
Been moved by Council President Kleberg, second by Councilor Speckelmark to approve renewal licenses for retail liquor, retail wine by the drink and bottle, and retail beer on and off premise as applicable for the 4 businesses listed below on the agenda, subject to submittal of the required paperwork. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Dawn.
Thank you.
Council, next we move to item B, council liaisons to city boards and commissions. Considering the appointment of city councilors as council liaisons to the following city boards and commissions: Audit Committee, Cemetery and Urban Forestry Advisory Commission, Code Board of Appeals, Compensation Review Committee, Development Impact Fee Advisory Committee, Disability Advisory Commission, Emergency Medical Services Advisory Board, Historic Preservation Commission, Library Board of Trustees, Parks and Recreation Advisory Commission, and Public Works Advisory Commission. Before I give you my nominations, councilors, to let you know that the process I use is I go through your selections that you submitted to me, the committees that you wanted to serve on. And I first looked at if someone had served on that committee before. If they have, I went to the next person on the list who would like to serve on that committee. If there are two people in that position, then I would go to the person that has seniority on the council. So that's how I made my decisions for these nominations. The first appointment, and they may be voted on individually as a single slate. I'm going to do some of these individually because I'm not going to fill them all. So the first one is for the council liaison to the audit committee. So I move to appoint councilors Klein and Kleberg as the council liaisons to the audit committee.
Second?
I need a second.
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 Been moved by Mayor Johnson, second by Councilor Wright, to appoint councilors Klein and Kleberg as the council liaisons to the audit committee. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. This next commission is for the Cemetery and Urban Forestry Advisory Commission. We may be looking at some changes to this commission, and I'm not going to get ahead of our director on this one, but I will make an appointment to this. But councilors, we may be looking at some changes 2 or 3 months down the road. I would like to appoint Councilor Wright as the council liaison to the Cemetery and Urban Forestry Advisory Commission.
Second.
Been moved by the mayor, second by Councilor Forsman, to appoint Councilor Wright as the council liaison to the Cemetery and Urban Forestry Advisory Commission. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, I would like to appoint Councilor Maury as the council liaison to the Code Board of Appeals.
Second.
Been moved by Mayor Johnson, second by Council President Kleberg, to appoint Councilor Maury as the council liaison to the Court Board of Appeals. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. I next appoint Councilor, this is the Compensation Review Committee. Councilors, we're going to hold off on that one because that committee will not meet for a while. The next appointment is to the Development Impact Fee Advisory Committee. I move to appoint Councilor Wright as the council liaison to the Development Impact Fee Advisory Committee.
Second.
Been moved by the mayor, second by Councilor Forsman, to appoint Councilor Wright as the council liaison to the Development Impact Fee Advisory Committee. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Sorry, Councilor Klein, I'll hold off. Councilors, the next committee is the Disability Advisory Committee. Nobody put their name down for that one. If you would like to put your name in the hat tonight, I'm happy to appoint you. Otherwise, I'll come back and visit with you probably at our next meeting to see if we can find someone that's able to take that on. So is there anyone that's able to step forward tonight? Councilor Wright,
I can continue on that committee.
take that?
Yeah.
I move to appoint Councilor Wright as the council liaison to the Disability Advisory Committee.
Second.
It's been moved by Mayor Johnson, second by Council President Kleberg, to appoint Councilor Wright as the council liaison to the Disability Advisory Committee. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Carries. Thank you, Counselor Wright. Next up, I move to appoint Counselor Kleberg as the council liaison to the Emergency Medical Services Advisory Board.
Second.
Been moved by Mayor Johnson, second by Council President Kleberg to appoint Counselor Kleberg as the council liaison to the Emergency Medical Services Advisory Board. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I,
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Councilors, the next committee is Historic Preservation Commission. Again, nobody signed up for that. If we have somebody that's ready to commit to that tonight, I would be happy to appoint you. If not, I will bring this back to you at a future meeting to try to get it filled. It's a very active commission. Okay, I'll bring it back. You have that one, Councilor Brocky? We'll bring that one back for another meeting. Thank you. Councilors, next up is the Library Board of Trustees. I move to appoint Councilor Kleberg to the council as the council liaison to the Library Board of Trustees.
Second.
Moved by Mayor Johnson, second by Councilor Forsman to appoint Councilor Kleberg as the council liaison to the Library Board of Trustees. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I,
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next up, I move to appoint Councilor Spickelmeyer as the council liaison to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Commission.
Second.
Moved by Mayor Johnson, second by Councilor Wright to appoint Councilor Spickelmeyer as the council liaison to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Commission. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Nay.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries. Next, I move to appoint Councilors Wright and Klein as the council liaisons to the Public Works Advisory Commission.
Second.
Been moved by Mayor Johnson, second by Councilor Forsman to appoint Councilors Wright and Klein as the council liaison to the Public Works Advisory Commission. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I,
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, councilors, for your service. Next up, item C, appointments to other organizations. Considering the appointment of city councilors, the mayor, or city employees as applicable, as city representatives and/or members, again, as applicable to the following organizations: Lewis Clark Valley Metropolitan Planning Organization. This would be 2 elected officials and a city employee. Valley Vision, Lewiston, Nez Perce County Airport Authority Board, Nez Perce County City of Lewiston Emergency Communications Joint Powers Board, Association of Idaho Cities, and Clearwater Economic Development Association, 1 member and 1 alternate to that. This is an action item. Again, these appointments may be voted on individually or as a single slate. I'm going to do the first one as a slate. I would like to appoint Councilors Klein and Kleberg and Public Works Director Dustin Johnson as the city's representatives to the Lewis Clark Valley Metropolitan Planning Organization.
Second.
Been moved by Mayor Johnson, seconded by Council President Kleberg to appoint Councilors Klein and Council President Kleberg and Public Works Director Dustin Johnson as the city's representatives to the Lewis Clark Valley Metropolitan Planning Organization. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I,
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. I next move to appoint Councilor Spickelmeyer as the city's representative to Valley Vision.
second.
Been moved by Mayor Johnson, second by Councilor Spickelmeyer to appoint Councilor Spickelmeyer as the city's representative to Valley Vision. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 I,
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, I move to appoint Councilor Wright as the council liaison to the Lewiston Nez Perce County Airport Authority Board.
Second.
Been moved by Mayor Johnson, seconded by Councilor Wright to appoint Councilor Wright as the council liaison to the Lewiston Nez Perce County Airport Authority Board. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I,
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, councilors. Next up, I move to appoint Council Maury as the city's representative of the Nez Perce County City of Lewiston Emergency Communications Joint Power Board, the E911 Board.
Second.
Been moved by Mayor Johnson, second by Councilor Spickelmeyer to appoint Council Maury as the city's representative to the Nez Perce County City of Lewiston Emergency Communications Joint Powers Boards, E911. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, council. Next up, I move to appoint Councilor Forsman as the city's representative to the Association of Idaho Cities.
Second.
Been moved by Mayor Johnson, second by Council President Kleber to appoint Councilor Forsman as the city's representative to the Association of Idaho Cities. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, I move to appoint Councilor Maury as the city's representative to Clearwater Economic Development Association.
Second.
Been moved by Mayor Johnson, seconded by Councilor Maury to appoint Councilor Maury as the city's representative to Clearwater Economic Development Association. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Various councilors. Also, we are going to help Councilor Maury with an alternate. That's part of our code process here. So if there's somebody that would like to,
I can do that, Mayor.
okay, thank you,
Is that,
Councilor.
that's for Clearwater, correct?
See that, yeah.
I move to appoint Councilor Forsman as the city's alternate representative to Clearwater Economic Development Association.
Second.
Been moved by Mayor Johnson, seconded by Council President Kleber to appoint Councilor Forsman as the city's alternate representative to Clearwater Economic Development Association. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Council. Councilors, next up, we have item D, Urban Renewal Agency City Representative Appointment. Considering the appointment of a city councilor to the Urban Renewal Agency of the City of Lewiston, Idaho. This is an action item. I move to appoint Councilor Forsman as the city council representative to the Urban Renewal Agency of the City of Lewiston.
Second.
Been moved by Mayor Johnson, seconded by Councilor Forsman to appoint Councilor Forsman as the city council representative to the Urban Renewal Agency of the City of Lewiston, Idaho. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Thank you. Councilors, item E, Urban Renewal Agency City Alternate Representative Appointment. Considering the appointment of an alternate city council to the Urban Renewal Agency of the City of Lewiston, Idaho. Again, this is an action item. I move to appoint Councilor Wright as the city council alternate representative to the Urban Renewal Agency of the City of Lewiston.
Second.
Been moved by Mayor Johnson, second by Councilor Forsman to appoint Councilor Wright as the city council alternate representative to the Urban Renewal Agency of the City of Lewiston, Idaho. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Council. Next up, item F, Urban Renewal Agency Nez Perce County Representative Appointment. Considering the appointment of Doug Havens to the Urban Renewal Agency for the City of Lewiston, Idaho, as the Nez Perce County's representative. This is an action item, and before I make the motion, Council, this item has been before you previously, and it comes back. It's a formal request from Nez Perce County. They submitted a letter to the mayor formally nominating Doug Havens as their commissioner, representative to the Urban Renewal Agency. Previously, there was a motion made to appoint Commissioner Havens to the Urban Renewal Agency. It did not receive a second, and therefore it died for lack of a second. So after formally receiving the letter from them and providing an opportunity for the council tonight to explain their vote, I move to appoint Doug Havens as Nez Perce County's representative to the Urban Renewal Agency of the City of Lewiston, Idaho.
Second.
Second down here. It's been moved by Mayor Johnson, second by Councilor Spickelmeyer to appoint Doug Havens as the Nez Perce County representative to the Urban Renewal Agency of the City of Lewiston, Idaho. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
Nay.
That sounded like 4-2 to me. Motion carries. Thank you, council. Next up, we have Roman numeral 14, unfinished and new business. Item A, city councilor comments. Comments shall not be related to an item currently before the city council or an item that may come before the city council in the foreseeable future and shall be limited to comments, not discussions. So, councilors, as a courtesy, I'm going to ask Councilor Maury if he would like to share any words of wisdom with us tonight. You don't have to, but you get first courtesy. I didn't ask you for your words earlier because I knew we were going to get to this, but the floor is yours, sir.
Mayor Johnson, thank you. As a newly seated city councilman, I look forward to serving the community. I hope at the end of my tenure, however long that may be, that I can exit with the same amount of grace as what Councilman Schroeder did. I look forward to serving the community. I want our community to thrive. I look forward to working with everyone on this board, the boards that I've been appointed to. The people that I've not been appointed to serve, I still serve. I look forward to the next 4 years, and maybe on from there is where we go. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Other council comments tonight? Councilor Klein, I'm going to go to you next if you have any words to share with us tonight.
Not tonight, thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Wright.
Thank you. So I don't know how many people read the newspaper every day, but back on December 26th, there was an article in there about Jay Bright, who is a friend of mine, and he was explaining some of his life history and a not-for-profit that he is starting up called Upwelling. Upwelling helps ex-convicts that just got out of jail, just got out of prison, get a gym membership and create some more structure around their lives as they're trying to make their way into society again. And I believe this is a great opportunity to continue reducing recidivism rates, which is something we should all, if we can, try and help a reduction in those recidivism rates. And what that means is people that they get out of prison and then they commit crime again and then they go back. So we want to reduce that as much as possible. And if you'd like to learn more about Upwelling and how you can help out, it's at upwellinglewiston@gmail.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Forsman.
I just want to congratulate Brian for being on the council. I'm looking forward to collaborating and working together for the betterment of Lewiston. I think that you're going to be a great fit and you're going to do great things. And so I'm excited for you to be sitting up at this table with us, sir. And so thank you for those that, again, put me in this seat for another 4 years. I'm excited for what we can do as a council and as a team. Here's to another 4 years of.
Council President Kleber.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First off, I'd like to apologize to everybody and the council for my tardiness tonight. My wife received a new left knee today. I've been out of town and got back here as fast as I could, so she's doing fine. I'll pick her up tomorrow, bring her home, so the cat and dog will be happy.
Thank you, Council President Kleber. Anybody else? Well, Council, I would just commit to you and those listening here tonight that I'm going to do my best to make the city of Lewiston a top-performing city, and that's always been my goal. And part of the challenge is communicating that to others, and so I'm going to keep working on that message. But that's always been my commitment to make Lewiston a top-performing city, and I believe that we have a lot of examples of that. What we've accomplished over the last 4 years. And it's certainly not the work of one individual or a small group of people. Everybody has pitched in and worked to make our city a better place. We have lots of examples that we can show you. So I'm excited about that. We're going to keep moving forward. We have a lot of work to do, a lot of infrastructure needs and other things. But for the public that may be listening, I would always invite you to contact my office if you have questions or concerns about my service or anything that you see going on in the city. We're here to help. It's your city, it's our city, and we care about you. So thank you very much for that. I also want to tell the council members, just to remind you, if a year from now you'd like to change things up again in your committee assignments, you can do that. And I'll give you a year's advance notice. But a city councilor may in January have an odd number of years. So next year, a year from now, make a motion to direct the mayor to change the appointments, except for the city council liaison appointments to the audit committee and public works advisory committee. So as you're going along over this next year, if you feel like there's not enough substance in the work that you're doing and you would like to move that around a little bit, make a motion in January and we can certainly move some things around. So that's always an option. I just appreciate your service to our community. You take on a lot of responsibility and we appreciate that very much. For the families out there, welcome. We're going to take up as much of his time as he's allowed to give us. I know he has a tough schedule, but I personally am very excited to have him here and working with him. So, Councilor Maury, welcome to the council. This next item, I should at least, we should at least tell Councilor Maury what this is all about, and that is item C, agenda topics. The mayor is responsible for putting the agenda together, and you may have something you want to talk about and I'm not interested in it. So I may choose to say, well, Counselor, I'm not going to put it on the agenda. Well, you can go around that at this time of the meeting and tell your fellow council members, hey, I've got an idea and I'd like to put this on a future council agenda for discussion. You could make a motion at this time and say, I move to have a discussion or put on a future council meeting the topic of this. And if you get a second, we'll vote on that. And if it passes, we'll put it on a future council meeting. It's always helpful to be specific. So if you say, I'd like a future meeting, and I'm not interested in the topic, it's going to sit out there in space for a long time. So we're going to make each other work, but that's what it's there for, Counselor. So that's your opportunity to help drive the agenda and put things on there that are important to you and to the folks that you're serving. So with that, Councilors, I will ask if we have any agenda topics. Not tonight. Councilor Klein? No? Okay, thank you. Council, with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
No seconds.
Second.
If we, Council, it's been moved by Council President Kleber, seconded by Council Maury to adjourn. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, Council.